These are important decisions, Scoot.
You know, it was so nice. I have to thank Randall again for being such a good sweet boy. He's like, I want a food channel where we can post nice food things, and now this is the garbage I have to deal with the rest of you with. All right, but anyway, Rob, do you have the intro gimmick?
Do I have the intro gimmick? Whoever's to my left, I'm asserting what snack they would be if they were turned into a snack.
Yeah. So I'm going to make this call now. The snack is going to be either. Sorry, the cat. It can be something you would eat probably like just not as a meal. So not an appetizer, not necessarily dessert, but something that's freestanding by itself.
Oh, it can't be a dessert?
It can be a dessert type thing, but it has to be something you would eat like you would conceivably eat.
Just like totally standalone. You wouldn't do like a meal and then this.
Yeah, it's like it's not that.
Okay,
I have an idea.
I actually am more confused. I'm now more confused.
So it's
not appetizers.
Not something that has to be hooked into a meal, right? So like
not a mozzarella stick.
You can.
I would absolutely eat mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you
know what?
about?
Take your best guess. It's not really gonna matter. Just do it live. It's fine.
Okay. If you get it wrong,
the
session is instantly over.
Yeah. Your character dies. I take everything from you.
You take
technology stops working.
D20 force damage.
Yeah.
In real life, not your character.
I'm just gonna go for it. I don't.
Yeah, fuck it, go for it.
Okay.
Okay. So, everyone good to go?
Yes.
Probably not.
Are you recording?
I am. I've been recording for the past 20 minutes.
Okay.
It's good. It's good to check.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Ryan, as we were working on some lovely technical issues the past few moments, but here we are, and that's the important thing that we're here. So this is your Dungeon Master Scoot, back with our lovely crew of the Gaffers, and for today's introduction, we're going to do something kind of in line with last week. We're going to have the players introduce each other. So they're going to go in our screens, which I know you can't see, but they're going to go to the left, and they're going to introduce the player, the character, and then we're taking a page out of a special book in my universe called the Omnomnomicon. And through the magic of the Omnomnomicon, you can turn people into their one true snack. And not like hot, want to have sex with snack, although I'm sure there's people that are, down for either. But what kind of food snack they would be. So I'm going to roll me a dice to see who's going to go first. And it's Deb.
Okay. So I had a couple minutes to think about this, and I have an analysis for Kate.
Introduce yourself and your character first.
Right. This is Deb. I am playing Tessa, the Tiefling Paladin. And so for Kate / Neva, I picked a couple qualities. I think, as a person, you're a very smart person, pretty healthy, also very sweet and fun. So I think you would be an apple dumpling.
Aww.
Because it is somewhat healthy because it's an apple, but also delicious.
This.
Okay. Kate?
All right. I'm Kate. I play Neva, our half-dryad druid. To my left is Randall. And I'm going to have... So the thing about... I know many things about Randall. I know that Randall does, in fact, like to bake and to cook. He loves good poetry and friends and kind of community things. So I'm thinking of like the kinds of snacks that you might have at like, family style event, everybody sitting around the table sharing snacks together. Like something you could like pull apart and share. Mm-hmm. And based on that and his absolute adorableness, I have come to the conclusion that Randall is a cinnamon roll.
An actual cinnamon roll?
Yes.
I love it.
Sweet cinnamon roll.
Spirally goodness.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm fine with that because I love cinnamon and sweets.
And rolling.
So to my left is Will, and honestly, the first thing that popped in my mind for him.
Wait, but
I'm supposed to introduce myself. Yeah. Who am I? I'm a cinnamon roll. And that's all you need to know.
He plays a cinnamon roll.
To be fair,
I do play a cinnamon roll, but a cinnamon roll that could actually kill you. So I play Kiki, the Kenku Tinkerer. And okay, so now back to Will, who's to my left on the screen. So the first thing that popped to my mind was actually tachos, because I think that. Do you know what tachos are?
No.
No, everyone is shaking their head no.
For the listeners,
No.
everyone
Is there a
shakes their
combination
head.
of tacos and nachos? Because that's what they sound like.
No, it's tater tots and nachos,
Ooh.
Yes.
sounds
and they're
great,
really
actually.
they're really delicious.
Oh, I love me some tots.
Yeah, so it's tater tots with all the toppings you would normally put on nachos.
So delicious. Say more nice
Why-
things about me.
Why did we do this particular thing before I've had a chance to eat dinner tonight?
That's
Seriously.
not my fault. You're a grown
And you're
adult.
usually about potato products. There you go, tachos. For the image for everyone. Yeah, I guess basically just because I don't think you would be wholly one thing or another. I think for some reason, both your characters and you, I see you combining elements. And also I just saw tachos on.
How are tachos like a multi-class rogue?
They are. Well, to be fair, most of us had never even heard of them. They're very sneaky snack. So,
And I suppose if you eat
They
too many,
clearly
could
have a
kill
high
you.
stealth.
That just slid
That's
in
right.
there.
And there you have it.
I identify with
You're
that.
already doing a face.
really-
Scoot's already. I don't like a face palm almost.
It's a ridge pinch, which is a minor version.
There you
It's like
go.
a level. It's like a cantrip.
The cantrip version of the facepalm. I love it.
Go well.
Does that imply you are burning spell slots to facepalm and we can
All the
eventually
time.
tap you out?
All the time.
That's interesting.
Luckily, I'm the DM, so I have infinite spell slots. It's fine.
Hello. My name is Will. I play Roscoe, the warlock sorcerer, never ever a rogue.
Totally not. Never.
Until we do. To my left is our fearless DM Scoot, right? You
Yeah,
doing that right?
you are. That is my name.
And I would say that Scott is approachable, but fun. He's sweet, but explosive. He's spicier than you think he would be. And so for that reason, I deem Scoot popcorn covered in Mexican street corn spices, which is
Okay.
the best of snacks.
Ooh, that's some good
It also
stuff.
literally has to explode to exist.
Okay. Thank you, Will. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Oh yeah.
I am Scoot. I am your dungeon master. I am all the things that aren't these fine people right here. To my left is Robert. And giving this some thought, I believe that Robert, being the multifaceted gentleman that he is a very fine charcuterie board.
Fancy.
I like this.
Yeah. It's probably a little fancier than Rob might be, depending on the level of
Yes.
charcuterie board. He's got a good mix of things.
It's like the kind of charcuterie board that you'd get from Giant. Not like Wegmans. This is not a Wegmans charcuterie board.
No, it's not
Giant.
fancy.
You're classy, but you're not that classy.
You're not that. Come
You're
on.
classy but casual.
I'm not
It's
breaking
like-
a 20
It's
on
like
this.
4 kinds of salami. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, it's just salami. Don't. It's not. There's no prosciutto here. It's just salami. Cool it.
Yeah, there is 2 types of cheeses though.
You have to have a soft and a hard cheese. Everything else is unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hello, I'm Rob. I'm a charcuterie board.
And that's the name
I
of the
play
episode.
Nick, who's not a charcuterie board, but he is a human wizard. He's a nice guy. He's a little green, but he's a nice guy. To my left is Deb, who started this whole party off, and everyone else has nice, thorough explanations for why the person is the snack they are. But Scoot said, "What snack is the person to your left?" And I said, "Ah, of course. Deb's like a Hostess snowball, but like a homemade one that's really nice and like actually tastes good."
I just keep thinking.
And then I've been thinking this whole time about why I was so immediately certain of this. I have no idea. I have no idea. I was just very committed from the start. I can't explain it. You just same energy, I guess. You know.
All right, I need to change my profile pic.
No explanation. But now that introductions are out of the way, last week our intrepid heroes, the Gaffers, managed to finish up their business with the Von Lycans, and it went quite well. They did fend off a incursion of minor demons, and they met royalty from very far afield in the Feywilds. Lady Mora and Lord Bentos Stormbringer, who was Neva's former employers. But now things have settled, and they've made their way back to Thunderblade City, then down south, back to the Hollow. And they arrive in town. They're able to kind of kick off their boots for a moment, head back to the guild hall, where they find messages waiting for them. So each of the players received messages from me in the actual mail, because that's a fucking service we need to keep around for real and not let people destroy.
Yeah, man, buy them stamps.
Thumbs up.
Yep, buy them stamps. So you all, for the purposes of kind of the story, you all get there, you all have some time to read your letters and process them, and then maybe about lunchtime, mid-afternoon, you find yourselves reconvening in the larger guild hall, kind of looking at the job boards kind of around. You've all found yourselves at a table, so take it away, folks.
Oh, can we bring up the main map of the country?
Yes, I will get that for you.
I figure we might need that.
Yeah.
There you are.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you.
So Neva had actually gotten her message while they were still with Von Lycans, because hers was delivered not by standard post, but by like a bird. Which is a little different. And I believe Nicholas had also Roscoe had already gotten his letter?
Mm-hmm.
Because Roscoe and I had a discussion about the letters, or at least a discussion about what was in Roscoe's and kind of what he was looking forward to doing. So I guess Neva would kind of start the conversation by just, I know Roscoe's gotten a letter recently that's kind of given him some indication of at least one thing he might like to do next. Do any of you do you want to stay together? Do you have other things that you are planning to split off and go do? Do you have something that you would like some help with?
I did actually get a letter, and it's from an old college acquaintance. And he was asking me to get him some weed, which was not a wholly unusual request. And unfortunately, I've remembered that the kind of weed he's alluding to is the kind that we recently found a lot of and then surrendered. So did anyone save a brick of that by any chance? The gold stuff from the box.
No. Kiki shakes her head.
Can't say that I did.
Honestly, a grave oversight on my part. Well, I don't care about him that much anyways, so it sucks to be him, I guess. To answer your question, Neva, I've been having a pretty good time so far. It seems like we're working pretty well, honestly.
Yeah, I'm.
There's opportunity.
I mean, as I said to Roscoe, I'm not at all opposed to continuing to travel and potentially do some work together. There are some things that I'd like to do while I'm in this particular area, but I'm in no hurry. And if there are pressing matters that anyone else needs to attend to and they'd benefit from some help, I rather like all of you so far. I'd like to keep working with you, at least for the time being.
Kiki just goes, same. She nods her head.
Count me in to help
Let me-
because I don't got no weed for this guy. So
Let me ask it this way. I mean, I'll reiterate that I'm all for sticking together. I think this works. I think, I mean, I know I have more money on me right now than I've had in my entire adult life.
oh, good Lord, same.
So that's fine by me. But I guess, does anybody have anything either from these more recent updates or just in general that is time sensitive? My thing's not. We can mosey on down south toward the Tranquil Valley when we get a chance. But if there's something more time sensitive, I definitely don't need to be at the front of the line if we're taking turns on following our thread.
Well,
I'm
so-
kind of in the same boat.
if people are not, in any particular hurry to do any particular thing, I've got something I'd like to investigate in one of the ruins of the Tri-Sands that I know a couple of you had mentioned, especially after meeting Lady Mara and Lord Bentos, at least a passing interest in the happenings at the crossroads. The thing that I'm looking into in the ruins. It may bring us a little bit closer to traveling there. My ability to travel there is complicated. I can travel there easily. It's less easy to bring people along by non-standard routes, and so this, what I hope to find in one of these ruins may in fact let other people visit more readily if that's something you'd be interested in.
Yeah, definitely. Scoot, a quick question for the DM. How long of a travel was it, if you don't mind reminding me, from the venue to here?
The rough amount of time was from Moore's Hollow up to Thunderblade City was a couple of days by carriage.
Okay. And then the Von Lyken's estate was on just outside of Thunderblade City, right?
Like a couple of hours, of moving with stuff. Again, you're not clipping on horses or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we're headed back up towards Thunderblade City, I wouldn't mind swinging back by the estate and seeing if I can get my hands on any of that weed that we left behind. The acquaintance said he'd, quote, make it worth my while, which he's from a super rich family. I'd be happy to split it with y'all if we head that direction. But also, I don't care about him that much. He's just rich and convenient.
Kiki's
At some
taking
point,
in
I'd like to
something
head
about.
north, but I'm not any time sensitive quest, so I can help.
Yeah. Kiki's same. Hers is not time sensitive.
Yeah. All right. Where are those ruins that you want to investigate, Neva?
Well, so the problem is that there's two ruins that could potentially contain this gate that I'm looking for. There's one that's a little bit more to the south. There's one that's a little more kind of, I guess, in the middle of the Tri-Sands, because it does go along most of the side of this continent, really. However, there's a mining group that has gone to them that might be able to give us some more information. So I was hoping to speak to them at some point and see if they can give us a little bit more direction.
Okay, yeah, that sounds.
Kiki just shrugs.
Do we want to make a sort of provisional plan to hit everyone's, find some route that hits everyone's stuff as best as?
I mean, so Neva would have a map of the area. Can people indicate on here kind of just the general area that they think they need to travel for what it is they're doing? And we could probably we can ping the map that we are all sitting on in Roll20 right now.
So yeah, I have some business up north of Veritas Nova, which is looks like it's pretty far north of Thunderblade City, and east of the place that you need to go, Neva.
Right, and if I remember correctly, Roscoe, you needed to go south towards the Tranquil Valley.
Yeah, that's where I'm looking right now. And for what it's worth, I'm just moving for right now, moving icons to where people need to be so we can kind of see it
I like that.
stagnant.
Uh,
Yeah, and here's my thing. It's not to get us too off track. I know that's somewhat close to where we are right now.
Yeah, I think that
But-
might actually be the most efficient thing to do first.
So Kiki actually tugs on Roscoe's sleeve a little bit, and she's like, "I'm from Tranquil Valley. Uncle there has a puzzle box for me. Thought he was going to come here, but I can go there."
Oh, we have more than one target in that direction. Okay, that might change things. I
She
was
does a
about
kind of
to-
weird nod and shrug at the same time, like, "Yeah, sure."
Well, that is currently the closest, and if there's two things to do there, that could absolutely be our first stop. I know. I suppose mine is, I guess, via a slightly circuitous route on the way to where Tessa is looking to go. So it
So
looks
Tessa
like
gets out like a pen and starts drawing on the map like a big circle.
so it looks like the next place we are likely to head is Tranquil Valley then. Unless there are any objections?
I just want to
No,
give.
no.
Well, here's what we could do: is even if on our way back north, we could still let's go to the Tranquil Valley, head back north, kind of following the road into where Neva's at, because that's going to bring us past Thunderblade and probably make it easier to stop by the area around the party venue. So at the very least, I mean, we already surrendered the drugs, but if they were in that area, it's probably the place to go to get a lead for Nicholas on where to get that.
That sounds
I don't know if it makes a huge time difference to try to go back to the venue first or go down to the Tranquil Valley and then head north for Neva as the next stop. And then Tessa. As long as you're cool with being at the back of the line, Tessa.
Well, the ruins have been sitting there for a long time. They can wait a little bit longer. I don't
Okay,
think they're
fair.
going anywhere.
Scoot is the Lycan's kind of homestead, I guess. Is that on our way to the Tranquil Valley?
The Tranquil Valley is in the opposite direction. You were going south. You would have to go. It's a couple days north to get back up to Thunderblade to see if you can find them. They would certainly take an audience with you. But the Tranquil Valley is south of you, so it would be the exact opposite direction.
I'm fine with just going south to Tranquil Valley.
Yeah, it's unlikely enough that I'd actually be able to get my hands on anything left over, if you will. I don't think it's worth going the wrong direction for.
Okay. Kiki, you said you're picking up a puzzle box from your uncle?
Yes. From Uncle Wiz, friend of my mentor, friend of mentor. Yeah, Uncle Wiz. She nods. Like puzzle box is like an everyday thing.
Your 16th birthday when you got that Hellraiser cube. We all got it. Gillette sent me razors. I signed up for the draft. Get the Hellraiser box.
Did you
I mean, you
not?
guys didn't? I know. Like
I did. So it sounds like we're heading south then.
Everybody can see that Roscoe is pretty, is going along with this, going south, but is a little bit uneasy. A little bit not sure.
That is absolutely something Neva would notice. Roscoe, is there anything that you're concerned about with traveling there, or with what you kind of need to do once you arrive?
How do I put this? I didn't play a lot of team sports growing up, so I don't know what the rules are here, to be completely candid, and I would prefer to respect you all's time, but the truth is, and I pull out the letter, I don't bother opening it because I've read it at this point a dozen times or more. I don't know. Mine's not a puzzle box. I'm not picking something up. Not that it's going to be a simple box or that I could do anything about it, Kiki. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make light of it. It's more. We're saying we're going south, like we're going to go check a box, and I'm worried that it's a bigger thing than that, and other things that are important to people are going to be put on hold. So there's a chance we're just going south for the puzzle box, and we're going to get to the Temple of Saloon, and it's not something we're going to be down for. It's not something we're able to really put ourselves into together. And to be honest, I just hope you all know, if we get there and it doesn't sound like something that's right for us, I want people to say that. I don't want anybody to feel compelled to jump in just because it's my thing. It's got to do with my dad. There's something going on, but they say it's not life or death. So I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
family's family. Of course, we're going to help you. Don't worry about it.
And Roscoe, to be clear, as we've discussed previously, the thing that I'm most interested in is really more investigation and kind of understanding of this area. There are certain things that I'm set to and planning to do around here, but none of them need to take precedence over this. I am happy to assist, and I appreciate your frankness and your honesty. It does, in fact, make this whole team sport endeavor work better. And if we get there and things aren't working, that's fine. We make a new decision at that point. But right now, there's no reason to suspect that it's a bad decision to make. And we would all like to go there anyway in the interests of helping Kiki get her puzzle box. So really, I don't see a particular reason not to go there first.
You know what? Honestly, that just made something click into place for me. I would feel oddly better about this if I knew that we were going to go get Kiki's puzzle box first. That would oddly make me feel much better.
I don't know, Kiki. I don't know if you'll be able to handle getting to your puzzle box first. Of all the things that we do, if that is our priority, I just don't know if you'll be able to handle it.
Kiki tugs on Roscoe's sleeve.
Yes,
She
friend.
tugs on Roscoe's sleeve again, and she's like, "You think too much." And then
And then she locks Tessa in a closet and walks away.
Every time.
Kiki's the most adorable big bad I've ever seen.
I think he's a little bad.
the littlest big bad.
Aww.
Until she
Tessa's
gets
going
Sometimes
to
I
wake up in a
feel-
closet at random and not know how.
Kiki's the little bad until she finishes her power armor.
Yeah.
I've got plans for Kiki leveling up. That's all I'm
Oh,
going to
Lord.
say.
Oh, yes. Kiki's dwarvish for Voltron. Okay. Then, yes, you're right. You're right. I think too much. Let's roll.
Okay. So heading south then, so say we all. The day passes, you take the day to kind of get your shit together, refresh your stock of supplies, food. I'm sure at some point you see Tessa just putting cookies down her cleavage, and they seem to disappear, and it was a lot of cookies. You're not sure where they go.
Well, there's a lot now because I also have my steed to think
That
about
is
as
true.
well.
So I don't think this happened, but at some point, as you're all kind of roaming about town, probably Neva would notice this, but she's left to probably go get food. So I'm going to say, Roscoe, as you're walking around, again, this town's not super huge, but you see, like, over a crowd at the market, you see Tessa's, like, upper body. And Tessa's tall, but she's not that tall. That she would be, like, the crowd is at almost her, like, mid-drift. And would you like to explain what Roscoe sees, Tessa, as you come to a
Yeah, I start wandering over.
You see that Tessa is astride a white Pegasus with like flowing blonde mane, and she's kind of just like patting her, and the kind of the crowd is really interested in this. The horse, though, is or the Pegasus. She has a little bit of an attitude. Her name is Luna, and she's kind of a combination of snarky, but also she's all about justice. So if you step out of line, she's going to hit you with a hoof. And so Tessa, with her her leveling up, has this bond now with Luna. So she's going to be serving as a mount. I got rainbowing.
And only good things will come from this.
Obviously.
So anyone...
are you mounted now? That's why you're so tall, extra tall. Yeah,
that's why I am above the crowd. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So would anyone?
Kiki's a little in awe. Yeah, she's just in awe. She's like your height and the magnificence of your mount.
Mm-hmm. Would anyone like to do anything before you leave Moore's Hollow and begin heading south?
How much do mounts cost, Scoot?
So it depends on what you want. There are some pretty affordable like draft horses that will cost you to get down to Raven's Roost, probably like 3 or 4 gold. If you want something a little more expedient, you can always rent a carriage. That's a bit nicer going. It's a little slower. There seems to be a relatively new thing, and Roscoe and Kiki would have seen these come into this continent after a while. There's things called Gaks. They are large riding lizards that seem to go not as fast as a horse, but they're not as bothered by terrain. Like Roscoe would have seen these in the city climb up a building with like no real problem.
Mm-hmm. Kiki's going to opt for, even though we just made coin, she's not used to having coin, so she's going to lean toward whatever's cheapest. She can be swayed, but
you might be able to ride.
She would honestly probably walk there.
Kiki's light enough. She might be able to ride with Tessa. If the Pegasus can hold Tessa, she probably can hold Kiki too.
A celestial steed can always hold its rider. The question is, will the steed allow Kiki?
Kiki, I know, weighs less than your armor. Let's just put it that way.
I will leave that decision to the DM.
She probably weighs less than your pauldron, like one of your pauldrons.
So, Kiki, do you approach Luna?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so the horse
her eyes are wide.
Yeah, look down at you. And it will assess you. And then it will lean over, grab you by your scruff, and just sort of put you on its back.
Kiki will make a little yip, but allow it. She won't struggle. She's just a little bit surprised.
Mm. So it puts you right next to Tessa. So like it's the horse's head, the mane, you, then Tessa. So you're like you're the little spoon in this situation.
She's used to always being the littlest spoon. There's going to be a kid's book named after Kiki. The littlest spoon. But the littlest badge. She's got so many things.
Tessa pulls out a giant bag of apples and hands one to Kiki. It says, "Here, give to her."
Kiki pauses like she was in mid-bite of the apple herself and then realizes it and then gives it to Luna.
The horse is side-eyeing you as you do that.
Kiki
So,
gives
so
her
Scoot,
the
I
apple.
was.
Hmm?
I'm looking at the Roll20 page on mounts and vehicles.
Hmm?
It looks like there are costs listed for buying mounts, and it looks like most mounts would in fact be within our purchasing range as opposed to just like renting range.
Oh, definitely. You guys have a lot of money, but I figured you were going to be cheap about it.
I mean, technically, if Neva really wants a mount, she can ask an animal politely, but like, it might be more useful for her to actually, for group-wise, for us to either have mounts or to get a carriage together.
Yeah, you guys could pull your money and buy a chariot.
Well, I mean, we could pull our money and buy a carriage.
Yep.
Which would be a lot more comfortable than a chariot.
Or an elephant.
We could also buy a wagon, but those move slow. I don't think we
it
need an
depends
elephant.
on how risky you want to be.
I am leaning towards, at least for this trip, which appears to be shorter, getting horses.
Mm.
Especially because if we're going to be traveling in the desert, we may end up having to swap those out for camels at some point. Or gaks.
Yeah, but you, Roscoe would know if you're talking about this, that the Gak is slightly more than a riding horse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably a average price would be about 100 gold to buy one straight out. But that's before you begin to haggle and like check out the horse, kind of go to the used car lot.
I'll play the game of haggle for a Gak.
Okay.
I'm on team. There can be a group of us. Maybe there's a group rate situation, but
I would
I'm into a
I would
Gak.
like to let the listeners know that I'm particularly delighted that Will is going to be negotiating for Gaks because one of the very first things that I did with Will in game, in a very different
Oh
game,
my god!
I
first-
run a race. I run a big racing competition, riding on his character.
Yeah, it
Tuna,
was functionally the Kentucky Derby. Like,
yeah, the Kentucky Derby, except for Gak, with him as a Gak.
I just remembered that.
It was the first
ago.
thing I ever did in D&D was
Oh,
Tuna
great.
Nick Nud.
Tuna.
Scoot is now the time to share that you just learned the secret of that name.
yes, but that
I
is
had
your
never-
secret to share.
I had never made a D&D character before, so I didn't know how it worked, and I panicked on the name, so I just spelled Dunkin' Donut backward, and it became Tunad Nicknud. And then I very specifically remember people gave me shit and were like, it sounds like a gnomish name. And I was like, I don't know if it's a fucking gnomish name. It's a coffee shop backwards, so joke's on you.
So,
Don't
Roscoe,
get
Okay.
yes, Kiki.
All right, how many
Oh,
decks
not
are trying
Kiki,
to-
just Randall.
Right, so
Yeah,
you
let's
would
stick to-
need
let's stick to
so
transportation.
with Kiki
I think
and
we only need 3 Gaks.
yeah, you would need at least 3 because the horse can handle. Well, Kiki is kind of like a hat on top of the, bag,
So cute.
huge backpacks it's carrying with Tessa. So the horse is fine with that. You would need 3 Gaks. Also,
Well,
at this
even
point, like the
We're
Gaks
talking
will
to the Gaks while he haggles.
I mean, you can be if you want. You can speak with them, but you would have to go to. Yeah, so there is a stable in the town is large enough to have a stable. And there's nothing's coming through here, so you see there's a lot of different riding animals there, various sized creatures, but there are a couple of Gaks and Neva. You being a druid, taking a look at them, they look healthy and fine. They don't look mistreated. They've definitely been on the road a bit. They're well fed. They're well maintained. They could be a more well maintained. They're probably checking the Gak Oil every 7,000 miles as opposed to the recommended 5. But they're perfectly fine.
Why does checking the Gak Oil sound so dirty?
Because it is the dirty.
Oh, I'll
process.
check your Gak Oil.
Oh,
When you
bring us
say
back, bring us
something.
back.
When you
Didn't
say,
Scoot also get an invite to breed with some other Gaks because he was such a racing stud?
yeah, because they thought he was. They thought he was
right.
a horse.
And then
They
I
thought
got
he was
scared.
Seabiscuit.
And
Yeah.
then he got scared and turned back into a druid right away.
I just wanted to be a red panda the whole time. Nicholas,
Yes, hello, it me.
what are your thoughts? What kind of purchase rental are you looking for?
before I answer that question in character, I have a question for Scoot, which is how good. Let me rephrase that.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of skill check would it be for haggling? I suspect that Nick might be pretty good at it. The player, Robert, is pretty trash at haggling, so I can't really effectively RP it.
Mm.
But I feel like Nick might know how to do this.
Right, so it would be deception. It would be your basic deception, persuasion, or I mean, there's always intimidation, but again, an outright that would probably get a guard to come around. So you're looking at usually either persuasion's probably your better thing to go to. Then you can start lying. You want to play. You want to mix them in.
So Nick is not super great at it. Does it look like Roscoe knows what he's doing? Is he like ready to go?
Yeah, Roscoe's like under a Gak right now, like looking at. It's like he's popped one of their mouths open and is looking at them. Neva's doing it too, but probably for very much different reasons.
Yeah. Okay. So to answer your question in character, finally, Roscoe, I'm like super interested in these lizard things. Are you getting a lizard thing? Can you get me a lizard thing? I don't really know what to look for.
I'm gonna get you a lizard thing. I'm gonna get you something nice.
Yes.
Neva also
Just
Neva
let me know what it costs to rent a lizard thing.
And
Are we buying lizard things?
We're buying lizard things.
we can afford to buy the lizard things.
Let me know what it costs.
Negotiating, and it would be easier to negotiate a package deal. You're welcome to negotiate for the cost as well.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go in together.
Right.
Don't be surprised if I call for some backup. But yes,
So you wanna go in?
I would like to find. I'd like to find a salesman on the floor of this Gak Chevy dealership.
So you do. You see a definitely older Minotaur, graying in the muzzle. The hair wasn't as sort of rich and vibrant as it once was. The horns seem a little chipped, but overall healthy looking gentleman. As then he kind of gets him and goes, "Oh, customers, how you doing? What can I do for you here at Gax RS?"
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Name's Roscoe, and my
Roscoe.
friends and I are actually looking for a 3 purchases.
Oh,
We're looking
okay.
for 3 Gaks all at once.
Oh yeah, Gax are great. Very good for all terrain travel, and you're making a solid choice. Did you have a
We're
particular?
excited.
Now, some of them are trained for fighting. Some are more trained as draft, and some are trained as your kind of bog standard riding. So, what do what kind of Gak you looking for?
I think we're looking for standard. I
Stick
personally,
shift on the Gak.
I mean,
then.
well, I'll say I don't want to speak for everybody, but for myself, mounted combat's kind of its own sack of potatoes, and it's not one that I'm particularly fond of. So it's not for us. We're just looking for some nice riding mounts. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you come out to the promenade, and we'll get you a seat.
Oh, please lead the way.
So he takes the 3 of you. Well, he leads all of you out. And he shows you there's a stable of different animals, but he heads over to where the Gaks are. And again, you're sort of outside of Moore's Hollow, where there's a bit more space. And you see a few of them. You see just kind of running around. There's a number of them that are on. They seem to have this huge ass rock. Really, it's more like a huge slate, and a lot of them are just laying on that, sunning themselves. They seem to be enjoying it. One is getting some water. Two of them are just sort of like, you ever seen chameleons just sort of stare at each other? They're just doing that.
Okay. Do you have any other stock besides these guys here?
These are the riding ones. We have the war ones over there, and he points, and you see there's a couple being put through their paces as much the same way that a horse is trained to like kick people. This is lashing out, and they're hitting dummies so that they're not hurting anybody, but they are riding and kind of butting heads and scratching at each other. But again, they're enough to be. This is practice, and they're armored. Or at least padded, so they don't actually hurt each other.
No, that's definitely not for us. All right, okay. I'm asking for one of these guys.
Say that again, Will.
What are you asking for? What's the
Well, if you're
sticker
looking for
price
just the rider
for Gak?
ones, we're looking for about. Some of these have been, they're not. You didn't raise them from a pup or nothing. They're not, they've been around a bit. So we're looking at roughly about because of the imports, about 90 gold a pop.
Okay.
Again, you want more thoroughbred ones, price is going to go up. If you're looking to get a bit of a deal, we got some that are a little more worn. They're still good. We treat them well. Good pack animals worth their weight in gold, of course. Well, not really, because then you'd be paying like a ton. But you can get a little cheaper if that's what you're looking to save some coin.
No, I'd rather that, right in the middle sounds about right. That's just a little rich for my taste for the three of us. That 270 is a touch more than I was expecting.
Make a persuasion check
to be completely
Roscoe.
honest. Let's get him.
First check of the night.
Come on, you beautiful, beautiful +8. You get it done right now. Come on. Ooh, no one.
Ooh. Ba, 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 a critical failure.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Yes, that
Yes.
is. I have rolled a 1. I do have right now in the bank 2 points of inspiration.
You want to use them?
Can I please burn
You absolutely
one of
can.
them? Oh, Jesus, mother. It's still not good, but I'm not going to burn the other one.
15's
Or am I?
15's not
Yeah, I'll
bad
take a
for
15.
where you
I'll
are.
take a 15. I'll
Okay.
take a 15.
So he goes, look,
Oh, God.
He goes, look, I'm not, I'd like to get you a deal. The Gaks, they get a little antsy when they've been penned up too long. They want to be on the road. They want to be, seeing things. So
Fair.
what kind of price are you folks hoping to do?
Well, to be honest, I would have guessed from research I've seen at other places, and maybe it's because Gaks haven't been here as long. I'm sure that's part of the math there. I've seen them closer to 60 to 90, so that's more what I was expecting, closer to like the 180.
I don't know where you're saying.
And I know the difference is obviously magnified by buying 3 all at once, and maybe there's somewhere in between, especially because we are buying 3 all at once.
All right, hang on, let's see who's gonna do. Okay, goes, look, I'll make you a deal. I'm gonna sell 3 of these things to you. We'll give you saddles, all the kit they need, some food to get them started off.
Great.
For I can do with all that 85 per. Doing the math. But I can. He leans in. I could do a little bit better.
I also lean in.
Yeah, I could do a little bit better. Could drop that price by about 10 gold pop. But for full disclosure, for legal purposes, these Gaks got personality, he says, thinking of the word and taking a long time to do it.
I look over my shoulder at Neva, who can talk to animals, and I'm like, oh boy, I don't know how we would get through personality. Okay, so what's that get us to all in?
Okay. So if you want the ones, the very personable ones, I'll drop that to about 75 pop. With everything else included. The riding, the food, everything you need.
I look over my shoulder at Nicholas. Okay.
I raise an
How about we
eyebrow
pop-
at you back and try and look like I have any useful input at all.
All right. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 2 of the personality ones,
Okay.
and one that's a little less personality.
Okay. Well,
So
that's
that's 75, 75, 85 by my math.
all right. I think I can do that.
All right.
Okay,
I'm into that.
all right, let's have you go meet him. And he,
Yeah.
he walks over. I need the three of you to roll me a d20, please. Roll for Gak.
Roll for.
Do I
Jack.
get to use my animal handling? Do I
No,
get,
just
or
this
we
is a
just-
straight d20, please.
This is just okay.
Straight d20.
Neva rolls a 6.
Okay.
Roscoe rolls a 10. Oh,
No. You typed it in wrong.
You're typing it
okay.
in r/o.
There you go.
Okay.
There we go.
So,
Oh,
Nicholas
20
walks
for
over
Nicholas.
to one of the ones that that has the personality, and they're all varying shades of colors. Right? They run green. There's sometimes they're red, orange. This one's purple. It's the only purple one there. And you see, yeah.
I hold my hand out for it to sniff.
Yeah, so it comes up and it sniffs you, and the guy says, "All right, here, give it an apple."
I hold an apple out.
Yeah, its tongue comes out, wraps it, takes it, it chomps it, and then it burps, and then you see a magic missile fly out of its mouth, just randomly into the air.
Is it gonna hit anyone?
No, it clips a nearby tree eventually, but it's just sort of like
Okay,
it's like
that's
a
fine.
rocket just going. Yeah, this one ate a spell book, so
Wonder if I can get the spells back out. Nick's instantly in like full on like instantly nerd sniped.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, how does that even work? Okay, so if it's imbued into its flesh now.
he leans it back to Roscoe. He's not gonna gut the Gak or nothing, is he?
I'm not gonna gut the Gak.
No,
The title of tonight's session.
I give the Gak a pat on the head.
Yeah, it likes you because it senses the arcane energy coming off of you, and it sort of does that like I'm a real big dog that thinks I'm a real small dog thing. It starts to kind of like jump on you, but this thing's the size of a horse, so it's very large, Nick.
I dodge out of the way at the hip
Yeah,
checks.
and it sort of just keeps like lumbering after you. Not
We
it's
just
not
do a little-
aggressive, yeah.
Do a little jog around the yard, I guess.
Yep.
We're bonding.
You're bonding. Will, you find kind of a bog standard one. It's pretty responsive. It's a horse very horse-like. The commands are a little bit different than you're used to as he kind of goes through it. Neva. You come to one of the ones with personality, and you see, and this is sort of just it's staring at the sun.
Sorry, I did not hear you at all because everything froze for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, so you find the Gak that he wants to give to you, and it's sort of just staring at the sun for a second, then it's closing its eyes, and then it's like doing it again, and then it's stopping.
Does it respond when I try and talk to it?
Yeah, it does, and it kind of comes over. He's like, "Hello."
Hello, what's your name?
Apples.
Are you named that because that's what you like best?
You have apples.
Do you know what a name is?
Yeah.
Are you siblings with any of these?
Yeah. And he
Which
points
one?
to the purple one that shot out that magic missile.
Did you come here? Did you come here from Dosh?
Oh, it doesn't know where it doesn't have a concept of countries. Like this is a draft animal.
Well, we'll be doing some traveling soon. Would you be
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
being my mouth?
Cool.
You like new things?
Yeah.
All right. And Eva does give it an apple.
This tastes like the stick I ate.
Was there a reason you ate a stick?
Well, he was eating a square thing, so I ate the stick that came with the square thing.
Oh, your boy ate a magic wand.
All right.
Yeah,
Very cool.
it didn't taste good.
I imagine it did not taste nearly as good as the apples.
No.
Do you often eat things without knowing what they are?
No, he says, thinking that's the right answer.
Could a Gak roll for deception?
I mean, even passive
No,
perception.
he got a.
He's a
Well,
druid.
this would be an insight check, but don't worry, because he got a 2. So he's like a little kid, like, no, and you think he's he has a branch in his hand, his little Gak
There's
hand.
literally garbage in his mouth.
Yeah, he was raining a can when you found him.
Would you?
Sometimes I find cool things in the metal things. I found a whole thing of eggs once.
Well, I'll ask you for one thing, which
Okay.
is, as long as I give you enough food,
Mhm.
will you promise not to go through the metal things unless I ask you?
Yes.
Are you just telling me that because you think I want to hear it?
Yes.
At least you're honest with me. I can deal with that.
Yay. He just nuzzles up against you and it's almost not
Neva
you.
has, in all honesty, met far dumber animals. This one, at least, like,
Yeah.
it's not.
You've
She
met
like,
you've met two-legged ones that are probably this smart, but much more malicious.
yeah, no, this would she. Look, Neva absolutely, prefers competence and skill and even excellence in just about everyone and everything she works with. That being said, she absolutely she loves little kids and she has a soft spot for adorably dumb animals. Does she work with them often? No. Is she willing to do it anyway because she's fairly certain that somebody else will beat this thing in order to get it not to eat out of garbage cans? Yes. And she
Yeah.
won't beat it.
Okay, which is good because oddly enough, like as you guys go to like finish up the paperwork, he is back in a garbage can, and the guy's like, "Yeah, we don't throw anything away usually. It's just sort of scraps, so we just let him do it." Makes him happy.
Understandable.
Yeah, he did eat a wand though.
Yes. Do you know, was it a wand of something in particular, like of a particular cast?
Yeah, so a guy from the Mage Guild from up in Veritas Nova came down here. Got big hair, real crazy guy, gave everyone hot dogs. I don't know what it was, but we said we're real sorry, and he said no, it was fine, and then he left. So I don't know.
Neva would know hot dog guy, wouldn't she?
Nope.
Really? He's never been in the Crossroads.
Oh, that doesn't mean you've come into contact with him. He goes to see the Queen and King because they're old friends of his.
Delicious hot dogs.
Delicious hot dogs. And besides Kate, there are many hot dog guys. He is
true.
of many.
He is but
And
one.
Taco Guy.
Taco guy's the bad one though.
We don't talk about Taco Guy.
I'm now picturing all of the hot dog guys as like components of one large Leviathan entity, much the same way that Ted's are.
Maybe you'll meet later. Who knows?
Yep.
So you all get your Gaks. You get them. Kiki and Tessa. You're outside the town, and you see them roll up in their Gaks. On their Gaks, fresh new Gaks. One is purple, and Nicholas is riding that. One looks very on point, and Roscoe's riding that one. And another one just seems to be enjoying the goddamn day, as he's just happy to be seeing things and is just rolling around with that Neva is on top of.
I do want to check with Kiki, though. It's like, I didn't want to stop you from getting your own mount if you wanted to get something.
No, this is fine. This is good. Luna, good.
Okay.
She nods. Yeah.
Neva, can I ask you a favor?
Sure.
Could you ask my new friend here whether or not they already have a name?
Oh, sure. Nick, would you like me to ask yours as well?
Yes, please.
Neva will ask their mounts if they have names.
Okay. Yours tells you he likes apples, so that's what he's gonna go with.
I've named my he's already told me his name is Apples. He's
Okay.
going to be
I
Apples.
just want to
Plural.
make that canonical. Apples.
Plural.
Nick,
singular.
yours seems to have renamed himself as your Gak, which is a lady Gak, is seems to be much more aware and calculating than the other two seem to be. And she tells you her name is Sunnydale.
Was that Roscoe's or
That is Ross. That is Nick's. Nick's is very that's the purple one. Roscoe, yours tells you its name is Maxie.
Maxie. Nice to meet you, Maxie. I appreciate this.
Was that Sunny Vale or Sunny Dale?
Sunny Vale. I want to make sure I say that right. Vale. V-A-L-E.
Cool.
Yep. Cue Muppet on the road montage as you folks head south.
I really appreciate that 3 of us, all at the exact same time, without any discussion, all started bobbing our heads side to side.
Moving right along. The roads. Once again, the roads of Prema are fairly safe as you make your way down there. Neva, you only have one incident of apples raiding trash cans, but again, no one can seem to stop him because you're at like a small village, and like he goes to the garbage pile and just eats some stuff. But they're not mad. They're just concerned because it's a very large creature. You then make it on the borders of Raven Roost, which is the town that is in between the Tranquil Valley and Thunderblade City. The closer you get, though, the more you are noticing that there are many more lichens here of various types. Mostly werewolves, some bears and boars and other things, but this entire town seems to be made up of lichens. The other thing you notice as you folks kind of roll in and you see there are 2 prominent temples here. One to Saloon, the goddess of the moon, and there's a very big one to the Raven Queen, the goddess of death. There also is, but there seems to be a lot of buzz in town, as there is a large rectangular carriage of sorts that is very fancily done up. And the townsfolk are just kind of like, they're moving around it. There seems to be some sort of party being set up.
Kiki, is this where your puzzle box is?
So Kiki is from Kus.
Tuss.
If she's saying that. Kuss, sorry.
Tuss, T-U-S.
Kuss.
So you know that this is the road that your uncle would have taken to get to Thunderblade. So you're kind of meeting him halfway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So around here, somewhere. She starts looking around, but she's also taking in all of the activity, and she's been through here and stuff like that, but she's
because the last time Kiki was here, it was not like this. It was just sort of a town just of like werewolf people.
She's like, beef festival,
Kiki,
something? Yeah.
Kiki, what's your uncle look like? Maybe we can just kind of fan out, see the sights, get something to eat, and see if we can find him. Because he's not expecting to see you, right?
I wrote back.
He said he was coming to you. Oh, you wrote back. I'm sorry.
I wrote back, but don't know if he got it. Got note. He's short, and she nods like that's sufficient. Okay. Your expression. She's like
tidied that right up. No.
She's like short, gnome, tinkerer, and then she pretends she's pulling like hair kind of askew, although she has feathers on her head, and so she's trying to mime because she can't think of the word for like askew or just like he's a bit disheveled, like kind of thing. Whiz bang, Uncle Whiz bang, and she nods.
Whiz bang. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe let's kind of roam around, see if we can find him. Nobody go too far. See what's going
on. Excellent. So, as everyone give me perception checks. Let's do that. Let's start with that. Let's get people rolling dice.
That's what the kids like. The kids like the dice.
Kids love dice.
Really? Good thing I have advantage of it.
Yep.
Yeah, 25.
Oh,
nah, one.
We are rolling like
natural one for Robert.
Pandas.
You were just trying to figure out this gak, man.
Yeah.
How in the hell did he eat that?
Me and Sunnyvale are talking about magic.
Yep. Well, you're talking, and
Which means
Sunny.
I'm talking about magic and he's licking me.
Yep, and although you can, there's an odd moment where you can tell that Sunnyvale is at least partially understanding what you're talking about, or at least is able to comprehend you. Probably more so than the other two Gaks. Kiki, there's a lot of very hairy creatures here, so you're kind of looking around, and your uncle is very small. The one who finds something with a 25, though, of course, is Neva, as you see a small person that Kiki sort of described is standing next to a very large automaton. And the automaton's chest is open, and he's sort of inside of it messing with something.
I will kind of wave to, or I'll speak up loud enough for everybody else to hear me. Kiki, is that him over there in the automaton?
So Kiki will look over. He's so small, I'm guessing like his whole upper torso is in the automaton. She's like...
Yeah, kind of in them.
Yeah. So she's like, looks like his butt. And she nods.
He does have a bit of color crack going on, which Kiki knows is, of course that's him. That's his butt.
Yeah. Probably Uncle.
Weird uncle comment, but all right, here we go.
As you folks begin to approach, though, the sky darkens magically. And, like, everyone stops for a second as they begin looking around. No one's kind of alarmed. Everyone's like, what's going on? And then there's a spotlight. And another spotlight. And another spotlight. And another spotlight. And another spotlight. As they all converge on a central stage that you're all kind of looking to your left at this point, kind of beyond the large box carriage. And you see a humanoid figure standing there as a ringing boom comes out as a thaumaturgy projection spell has clearly just been cast to catch everyone's attention.
So the very tall, nearly 6 foot tall person you see sort of glides as they enter, very feminine presenting, very lean, long flowing hair, and possibly the most extra gown you have ever seen. Certainly evening wear, even though it's daytime now. And there stands before you Satara, only one name because that's all she needs, world-renowned bard and bon vivant. And she just looks across the crowd and she says, "Who is here for a show?"
Tessa gets really excited. She's like, I am!
And she makes a gesture and casts, and for those of you who are familiar with the spell, it looks somewhat like Bigby's hand, but it's more accurately described as Bigby's fabulous hand because it has an opera-length glove on, bangles, baubles, and beads, and rings for days. And she just casually sits on it and lets her glide her across this sort of ad hoc stage, and she begins singing. And music appears, and then you see 2 figures that look exactly like her shimmer on either side and start singing backup. It is very high on special effects. Everything is extra. So there's little sparkly prestidigitation. She uses auditory and everything like that. And she is performing and just giving her all to the crowd. And she is expecting adoration. You know, she's used to it. So,
yep. At the end of this show, the crowd is going crazy as there are many howls of approval, which there's probably some cat calls in there, but it's mostly howls because it's werewolf people, and it's werewolf folk. That's how they show appreciation. Is there's uproarious cheering, and as Satara has her moment on the stage, and then probably a few more. Eventually, 2 different priestesses come out. One in the garb of Saloon and one in the garb of the Raven Queen. And they thank Satara and very patiently wait for her to kind of soak up the applause that she's going to do. She's going to soak up.
Woo!
Yep.
Thank you. Oh no, thank you so. Like she's doing the like megastar humility thing. Oh, just no, you're too. Oh no, really, no. And then she's actually unconsciously waving people for more. Like she's saying, no, stop. Oh no, it's fine.
Right. But eventually, the priestess of the Raven Queen takes her and says, "Thank you, Sitar," and sort of gently pushes her off the stage so they can get down to some business. And they thank Sitara, and they welcome everyone to the Festival of the Rebirth, because I need Kiki and I need Roscoe to make me history checks.
Ah, yes, history.
Mm-hmm.
A skill that I have.
Ah, yes, knowing things from the past, of course.
Ah, yes, vague memories.
Memories.
I got a 4. They're very vague. They're very vague
Super
memories.
vague memories. Kiki with
got
an
11.
11. Kiki knows what this is. She's probably never been to it, but the Festival of the Rebirth is a celebration because the ruler of this town is a diva named Tulia Jones. And divas, for those of you who played 4th edition, were a race. And their deal is divas reincarnate. So at the end of their kind of lifespan, they will die, but then come into a new body, a new willing vessel that will take over for them. Because this town is the purview and is run by a champion of the Raven Queen, who is Tulia Jones. So this is a very big deal for them that this is happening, because this is a once every couple of 100 years event.
Kiki explains what little she remembers about it to the group. She heard about it, but she usually was either studying or working, so she has not attended it.
Oh, we've got good timing then.
Yep. But they welcome and they tell you all about the festivities that are going to be happening here. There will be food will be provided. There will be, of course, the games and everything, and they welcome everyone to the town of Raven's Roost, and they hope they will also enjoy the more full concert that will be put on by Sitara and Company. And they're not actually sure if there is an company, but they know there's at least a Sitara, and that's mostly a company amongst itself. The crowd then disperses as the buzz of excitement kind of moves around, and then the smallish man kind of pops out of the automaton and hops down and looks down, and he's like, "Ah, Kiki!" And he's waving hugely to try to see if you can see him, even though he's very clearly on this almost 1.5 story bus, more or less.
Kiki's like, "Hi."
Hi.
And she waves back.
Hey. Oh, yeah, come on up, or come on in. I don't know. And he just sort of hops down from the top. As he closes the automaton awakens and then begins moving down as well.
Kiki is certainly glad to see her uncle, but she's also riveted by this tricked out carriage and the automaton, both, because he looks pretty upgraded by what she's seen in the world. So she tries to focus on her uncle, but she's also and she knows that he geeks out too, so she's going to be she's like, hi. You fixing things? Things?
No, come on in. You got to see this thing. And he ignores the rest of you and just leads Kiki into this box.
Hey, nice to meet you too.
At the same time, though.
Oh, Kiki. Kiki would absolutely forget to.
Yeah, he takes Kiki inside. Meanwhile, that hand comes sort of rolling back up, and before you stands the very tall person you saw on stage.
So they're all hovered around.
Yeah, they're sort of sitting at the entrance of the Jarvee, and you're not sure who these people are, but you did see your one of your head technicians take a Kenku into the Jarvee, and while he is eccentric, he is not silly to allow bad people in. Yeah.
So Satar's like, "Oh, hello, fans, prospective roadies." Hello, Satara. And she extends her hand.
No.
I
No?
loved your show.
Oh, you are just so sweet. Oh my god, aren't you just magnificent? The wings and the horns. I just love everything about you. I love everything going on here. Love it.
I just met you, and I feel like I would die for you.
This is the appropriate response, and an uncommon one. I thank you so much. Oh, you're just here. Oh, just are you
I
all
got a big
here
call.
There's so many titles tonight.
Are you with Whizbang?
Well, actually,
a member
our
of our group is with Whizbang. They've worked together in the past. We are accompanying her.
Oh, okay. Lovely, lovely. You come for the festival, then you came.
We were actually we were passing through to get elsewhere, but apparently our arrival was fortuitously timed for more than one reason.
I tell you, timing is everything, especially on the stage. But are any of you bards? No. Well, anyway, welcome. I hope you enjoy the festival. It is a wonderful time, and it's just so pleased to do the little opening performance and kick things off. And okay. So you're just passing through? What's happening? What's going on? Tell me everything.
Now that we're here, I have no objections to sticking around for the festival. Really, we haven't had any time to process, I don't think, yet.
festival.
I had a feeling that was going to be the response from at least 2 of the 5 of us.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, I think that we recently established that none of us are in any particular rush, so might as well enjoy ourselves a little bit.
Out from one of the windows pops a very messy head, going, "Satara, where are those? Are those any more of those? Those the things from the tiefling place with the stuff in the middle?"
The things from the tiefling place with the stuff. Look next to the bar.
Okay, goes back in. Yeah, there's just bottles of hooch. He says he's like screaming from the inside.
Oh, the left side of the bar.
Oh, cool. You want one?
The far left. Something from the bar or a gizmo? What are you talking about? Yes, of course.
No, the pastry things.
Oh.
The ones the other tiefling made, the angry one.
Oh, this? Oh my god. Delight. Oh, we should offer some to our guests. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Bring them out.
Out comes this gnome.
This baker. Yeah. This baker, not my gnome friend. This to die for. You never want to get on his bad side, but can bake up a storm. Wonderful.
Yep. So he comes out with a tray of something that immediately Tessa recognizes as doshnishes.
These are my favorite.
So I'm assuming you pop one in.
Oh, obviously.
These taste like they're from Falanor's.
This reminds me of home.
Just like, Satara's like, we can't just have something to eat without a drink. Where's Jarvis? Jarvis, come here.
So out walks the automaton, and he's
Jarvis. Go ahead.
He's now that you get a good look up, Clem, he's very sculpted. He's very male presenting, and he's very chiseled. It looks like he has been upgraded over time. As sort of his basic parts were probably once more mechanical and robot looking. Now is a very sculpted chest and abdomen. There's a surprising amount of glutes on this boy.
Model effort, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just assumed when you said he's very male-presenting, sculpted automaton, that he has just a grandfather clock pendulum between his legs, just ticking back and forth.
Let's go.
Well, maybe in the undercarriage, but we'll see. But he does come out, and he doesn't have anything on him at the moment. He goes, "Yes, ma'am."
Drinks. A round of drinks for our new friends, please.
So he opens his chest, reaches in, pulls out a like a tray. Other hand comes in, glasses, and you see that his hand reaches up, his fingers open, and he looks at you expecting orders.
The usual for me, please. And just any particular favorites for the group, or just bartender's choice? What do you prefer?
Surprise me.
Can he do anything?
Okay.
Can it do anything?
He generally uses he.
Okay. Yeah.
He's got quite a well-stocked bar inside him, so most things, yes.
Then I'll have the oldest fashion possible.
Oh, classic choice.
It's so old-fashioned, Rosky. When you taste it, it probably still has a pension.
It's just an old fashioned
Oh, it's a
with
deep cut.
pop rocks, so it's an old fashioned boomer.
Yeah.
Oh my
It
god.
does. The automaton Jarvis does pour a drink for it. He looks at Tessa, and he cocks his head a little bit, and he pours one, and he hands it to you. This is it. It's functionally Fireball, but it's been adjusted for a tiefling.
Oh wow. Is this like a shot or a
Oh,
drink?
this is a drink that he has mixed with a sweet syrupy substance.
I'm gonna give it a taste.
It's good, and he seems very proficient at adjusting for different folks' flavors and how
Ooh.
their physiology is.
Sweet and spicy.
Neva also asked for bartender's choice.
So he looks at you. And you see his hands, like the hand spins a bit, and it locks back into place, and he pours you a mint julep.
Excellent choice.
And he looks to Nicholas.
Do you have any Vintosian air whiskey?
Hand spins. He asks you, how old?
Just a few years is fine. Don't go too crazy.
Minimum is
Oh, nonsense. Jarvis, the top shelf for argument, please.
100 then.
That would be the first interaction where Roscoe turns to Tara and is like, wait, who are we thinking to myself, who are we rolling with right now?
So he
She
pours,
just assumes you've heard of her.
I mean, Neva has. But Neva's
yeah.
probably the only one here who has.
She's performed in Doge, so
But she's
Tessa-
also absolutely performed in the Crossroads.
yeah,
which
no,
is
I'm
the only
sure
reason
she
Neva
has.
doesn't do.
So he
The
pours,
thing with the Vintosian air whiskey is it's a wizard in Ventos who makes it, and it's a stable foam that is essentially like a sort of crystallized whiskey.
he does pour the drink for Nicholas and hands it to him. Anything else, he says. Hors d'oeuvres.
Oh, I think this is fine for now. Thank you, Jarvis. You're just such a dear. By the way, Satar is drinking a gin-based drink, but all you know is you can see every conceivable umbrella and, like, swizzle stick and bauble and, of course, a swirly straw so that she doesn't mess up her makeup on it. So it's actually kind of hard to tell what she's drinking. But she's definitely down.
At some point, you would notice that Neva has kind of gone through like she takes a look at it like it's clearly delicious, but she's also like, I don't know, she likes very particular things in her drinks. So she plucks an extra mint leaf out of her hair and puts it in.
Whiskey is good.
Yeah, he does have a venti whiskey, but it's not that particular magical brand, unfortunately. But he does make a note. Make a mental note of that. He does, ma'am, would you do you need the lawn furniture?
Oh, do you have time? We could all sit and chat. I mean, it didn't seem like you were in a rush, but I don't want to impose hospitality.
Well, it does seem that the one that we've mostly come here for is currently occupied, so I believe we'll be waiting here until she's unoccupied.
There's a minor explosion from inside the Jarvey.
I think they're gonna be a minute.
Satar just lightly rubs her temple ever.
It's fine.
ever so
It's fine.
slightly.
It's a small fire. I got it. It's fine. Yells Whizbang.
She's like, just don't get near the costumes or the wigs or anything. The alcohol, never mind. She's like, yes, the furniture would be lovely, Jarvis. Thank you.
Yes, and from his chest, he begins pulling out basically patio furniture and setting it up for you around a table.
She's like, isn't he just a wonder? Just one big walking, useful everythingness. And she kind of gives his middle cheek a little pinch, even though she can't actually do it.
I'll be
Yeah,
back
ow.
inside then, ma'am, if you need me, and he walks back inside.
Thank you, Jarvis.
You spend a few moments chatting.
Mick watches those glutes go back in.
Everybody watches those glutes go back in.
Yeah, fair. For those who can't see, Will was doing pendulum arm.
Representing the robot's
Oh.
robo-penis. You folks spend some time talking a lot about Satara. As another figure eventually approaches, this one dressed in the vestments of Saloon. Roscoe notices her fairly quickly as she shifts from a lichen form to her human form. And standing before you is a female human, although you just saw her shift back from a werewolf. She has very long, dark hair. Her skin is an olive color, and she is again dressed in these vestments. And she sees Roscoe.
Is it the same?
It's the same one
priestess?
that wrote you the letter.
Okay. Spoilers. Was gonna ask if it was the same priestess that thanked Satara on the stage.
Also, yes, it was the same priestess.
This makes a little bit anticlimactic when I say to her, Priestess Manulus, I presume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Waywatcher.
Would you care to join us for a drink, or do we need to talk in private?
No, are these your companions? And I didn't know you knew
They
that-
are.
I didn't know you knew the other diva in town, and she smiles at Satara.
So Tara does a little finger wave. She's like, you must have a drink. Unless you're abstaining for the festival. Is that a thing?
No.
She's like, oh, thank
The
the
opposite, I would
gods.
hope.
Thank the gods. She's like, let's get you something to drink.
Jarvis,
So she'll have Jarvis bring another chair. And
just bring another
Yes.
chair, brings another drink. Yeah, these are your companions, Waywatcher.
They are.
I'm delighted to meet all of you. I am Priestess Millinus. I am the sort of second, I guess, in line at the Temple of Saloon here.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
And I'm very glad you got our letter, Roscoe, as we have some matters we'd like to discuss with you as per your family.
Have you seen my father recently?
Sadly, no, but there is other matters to attend to. I'm sure he's off performing his various duties.
Yeah, I've been under the impression that things were going well for him and his current efforts. So your letter got me a little nervous. I don't mean to dance around it. What can I help you with? What's going on?
Well, we were hoping that you could undertake I'll not put it like a quest. I know it sounds very antiquated. On our behalf. Your father is off tending to matters with a temple we did not know existed in the lands of Lasana currently, helping to restore it and may hopefully bring back a congregation, and seeing the clerics to there over the seas is sort of your family tradition, but there is matters here with the rebirth that needs to be attended to. We were hoping to find you up in Thunderblade, and we were hoping you could fill his role. Temporarily, she says to you, looking at you.
Fucker. What would that have to look like?
She sees Roscoe's trepidation, and she goes, it's okay, Roscoe. It's more ceremonial than anything. Your family just needs to, participate in the ceremony, take up their traditional position of, seeing the current diva to her slumber, and of course bringing the new vessel to for the transference.
Oh, that seems to be a pretty central piece of what's happening right now.
That's mostly going to be under the auspices of the Raven Queen, but we've taken our part in things here, since most of the good folk that live here are very connected to the moon.
Of course, and so I got no beef with the Raven Queen, certainly. Can I ask, if I'm going to do that, I need a little bit more information about the vessel. I am ignorant of this rite.
Sure.
Is this a willing vessel? Is this an empty vessel?
Yes, no, it's a willing person. So divas have become rarer in the world, but Tulia has been here for a very long time, since really the founding of the Thunderblade. She fought alongside the Minotaur's progenitor. I believe the name is Planestrider, and Tulia has passed from one volunteer to the next, and it's always a willing person, and the person carries Tulia with them. They reincarnate, they live their full lives, they are aware of what's happening. It's sort of like a marriage if you think about it.
I mean, okay, I'll think about it that way, as long as they also think about it that way. I don't want to be a party to anything suspect, but
promise you the new vessel is the traditional term for it, is perfectly willing. You can go meet her if you would like. That would put you more at ease.
That would be wonderful, actually.
Okay. We can do that. She's
preparing. If you could set that up.
Sure.
Weird.
Now, Russell, you don't have to do this.
No, I am perfectly happy to. How do I put this? My family has a long sense of duty, and I'm glad to be a part of that. I'm proud to be a part of that. We have a more recent history of missing the mark of fulfilling those duties, and so I just don't want to misstep. But if it would be appropriate, it wouldn't be any kind of slight on Dad by me stepping into this role. I'm glad to do it. I'm glad the timing worked out that we're nearby and can be part of this.
I'm glad you're here too, Roscoe. When you're done with being entertained by such a wonderful woman, come find us at the temple, and we'll walk you through some things.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So she finished her drink. Thank you again, Satora, and I'm very excited for the show tonight.
Oh, toodles. Just like, I'm excited too. And well, everyone's excited for the show tonight. I mean, obviously.
And she bows to all of you and moves off into the distance.
So, Mudra leans in and looks at Roscoe. A quest.
Mudra leans in.
Oh, sorry, other character ship. I haven't played Satara in a while. Satara leans
Zatara
in.
suddenly makes soup for everyone.
Well, Satara can make herself look like anything, so she could shift to a Minotaur. But she just leans into Roscoe. So Satara leans in, and she's like, so, a quest. Oh, I used to go on quests all the time back in the day. And she just looks wistful, like, back with my adventuring party. Oh, good times. Yeah. Oh, so, but you seem kind of ambivalent about it. No? Unsure?
If it makes you feel better, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty quick quest, and the long hero's journey is going to take me. He points to the Temple of Saloon over there. So I'm not going over the Misty Mountains. I think we're probably going to be all right.
I'm sure
and
it's
I also
completely straightforward.
Yeah, I'm also not sure whether that. Well, you know what? Who says you only get one quest? There could be more to my piece of this, but first quest. Here we go. It's gonna be great.
Can I request that people roll a quick perception check to see if any of them notice Neva's expression?
Sure. I'd like you all to roll perception, please. Do.
An 18 this time.
Nice.
Yes, I got a 5, as expected.
31 for Satara.
Nice, Kiki.
That's not Kiki. That's a different character.
Oh, okay. For Satara, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, Satara's level 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Satara's-
Okay.
12.
So
12 for Rico.
Satara and Nicholas would notice that like Neva's expression is like mildly amused as Roscoe seems to fret about the prospect of like, what if this is my only quest, the one quest that I get, this is all that I've got. Her expression is like a small mix of, oh bless your heart, you summer child,
Sweet boy.
and a Satara would catch kind of like there's a tinge of like just like a flash of reminiscing about like other things that she has done.
Mm-hmm. Satara would probably give you a wink, like she's picking up what you're throwing down.
Well, she's a bard. Neva, someone expects the bard to notice that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You all spend some more time with Satara. It's lovely. Jarvis comes out with more snacks. But eventually the day does start to get a bit late, and you don't have accommodations here in this town.
Oh,
Has
where
Kiki
are you
come
all
back
staying?
There, in the course of your discussion, there are two more minor noises that are just like gears grinding and not good mechanical sounds.
Oh.
Okay. We're going to pull up that thread later.
Are you staying anywhere particular?
No. Not yet.
I
Not as of
mean,
yet.
we do have some room in the Jarvi if it's still in working order, she says, rubbing her temple lightly. I mean, you'd be welcome to stay here. If you'd like to find a place, also fine.
I very much appreciate your hospitality. I tend to prefer to sleep outside, but I will leave my companions to make their own decisions, of course.
More than fine.
I don't know if I'm going to fit in there.
Oh, oh no,
That's okay.
You don't understand. She opens up the door, and you see it's much larger on the inside. Like there are actually like two levels to it. Like, no,
Wow.
I would.
Where do you put it all?
Yes. I'm going to be a yes.
Uh-huh. I mean, you weren't thinking I was suggesting we just like sleep on top of each other, do you? Like, and then she gives.
Well, I mean,
Roscoe,
I am a lord.
She gives Roscoe a look. Like.
I would give it to you.
Roscoe has flashbacks to the fact that he somehow got away from the party without having to interact with Jala again. And I'm sure that's not the end of that story, but I got away with it this time, didn't I? So
I don't think Nala ever lets
Roscoe
you
thinks back and stiffens, and then stiffens.
That's a point of inspiration.
no. No more magically infused flirting. Roscoe's done for a while. I learned my lesson.
Yes, but we're going to remind you of it more than once, just because we can.
And she's like,
I know.
And Neva, dear, you're welcome to sleep up on the roof if you need the fresh air, or find a nearby tree. She kind of looks around. I don't know if there are little parks or anything.
There are. You're up.
It's totally up to
the
you.
mountains, but
Yeah.
there are some green areas.
Oh, I would prefer to stick to my trees, but thank you very much.
Okay.
Your offer is generous, and I will certainly be, happy to come and greet you all in the morning. Normally, I'd offer to, bring coffee for everyone, but it seems that you have your own coffee / everything else maker.
Oh, yes, we're all set up for everything there. There's like, Jarvis, we're going to have guests. Please make up the rooms.
Yeah, so Jarvis kind of puts his head out. Yeah. All of them, ma'am.
Oh, no, Miss Neva is going to be spending the night in a tree, as is her wont. But yes, for the rest of us, please.
Wonderful. And he goes back inside.
Is there a stable in there? A hitching post out front?
They can stay with me. I can arrange that.
There'll be...
Neva, make a perception check, please.
Mine's gonna wander off, isn't he?
You'll see. Yeah.
21.
So as you folks, like, this might be a little bit in the future, but as you're kind of bedding down, you're there like 1, 2, and you see that Apples is just sort of like, why he's not quite there, but he's wandered over to a bunch of trash cans and with his very dexterous lizard fingers has plucked it over and just sort of...
Neva has now started learning, and since Thorn Whip is a cantrip, she's Thorn Whipped his hand. He can't grab anything now, except for the Thorn Whip.
Make a strength check. He got a 1, don't worry. So he's sort of like, and he starts running. Do you hold on to the whip?
I hold up an apple.
He's running the other way at the moment. Do you hold on to the whip?
No, I'll let go if he's going to be running.
Yeah, he's going to run.
I will, however, let him know, kind of in like the clicking tongue that the Gaks have, that, got an apple if you come back here.
Yeah, so Apples kind of runs a little bit, that he hears that, and he sort of swings back around and walks up to you and takes the apple.
I'm absolutely going to basically, I'm going to, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to talk to his sister.
Okay.
I'm going to ask her if, while I'm sleeping, if she wouldn't mind making sure he doesn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, just, sort of tie him to me. That's usually how we did it before.
Understood.
He loves those, I don't know why they make them around here, but they make those, they take chicken and make them into, balls. He loves those.
Is he talking about meatballs?
No. But they're little, nuggets of chicken.
Scoot, so what you're saying is he likes the chicken nugs.
He loves chicken nugs.
All right. Apples, here's the deal.
Yeah.
If you stay...
Deals are awesome.
Stay beneath this tree the entire night. Chicken nuggets for breakfast. Neva's kind of testing his capacity for delayed gratification here.
I was about to say, so the marshmallow test is very good. Okay, here we go.
He's like, the ones that are shaped like little bears and stuff?
Yes. I can even get you the ones that are shaped like little bears.
Those are my favorite. They taste like honey. They're not actually made with honey. They taste like
They don't taste like...
No. He thinks that.
They do. He thought a stick and an apple tasted the same. I'm not judging his sense of taste here.
Mm-hmm. And he just sort of goes over by the tree and does his best to hang out there the whole night. And he will succeed! He critically succeeded at staying by the tree.
Good job.
Wow.
He's going to get chicken eggs in the morning.
He will. Meanwhile, before anyone beds down, Roscoe, they did invite you to come see the new diva.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. Are you going?
When that sentence started with "before anyone beds down Roscoe," I expected a different tack.
That's for Satara, not for me.
She's already slipping into something more comfortable, but then she'll look around and he'll be gone. It's very sad.
Isn't it, though?
You head to the Temple of Saloon. Are you going alone?
Yes.
Okay. Inside the temple, kind of doing a watch, you find a apparently human young woman, probably in her like mid to late 20s, just sort of staring up at the cosmos, the stars in the sky.
I just kind of watch her for a moment and then trying. You know how your voice is different if you're in a quiet place with somebody and you're like really trying to not startle them, like it starts soft, and try to not startle her as much as possible. Just good evening.
Hello. You must be the Way Watcher.
For the first time, really admitting to that in an official capacity, Roscoe says, "I am."
Yeah, they told me you'd be coming. Also, you're not fuzzy, so
Yeah.
And she goes back to looking up at the sky.
I'm gonna go just sit down next to her and look up at the sky for a little bit too.
They're beautiful, she says, looking up at all of them.
It's a lot of wishes still to be made. That's what I've always thought.
I can't wait to be up there amongst them, have all that knowledge, help so many people.
What is your hope for what comes next for you?
I hope that I can live up to the expectations and the power bequeathed to me.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
Mm-hmm.
What Roscoe stops, and like the internal thoughts are, who the hell am I to judge somebody else's choices if they're making the choice freely? And then just says, I've never done this before, but neither of you. So that's all right, I guess.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm very glad you're going to be there because I am excited but scared.
What's the scary part?
You know, becoming a whole new being is a fucking lot to that. Having that power that she has at my fingertips. It's a lot. I don't want to hurt people. Well, I don't want to hurt decent people. I want to hurt bad people.
It's not a deal breaker for me. Can I tell you something, to be completely honest? And I don't know much. If Dad was here, you'd be getting better Way Watcher wisdom trademark.
Put it on a t-shirt.
But I've recently become much more afraid of not becoming a new being than becoming a new being. The idea of staying the same for anybody, it's become a much scarier thing for me recently. So maybe this isn't so different than what everybody's trying to do, bro.
That helps.
Not that it's not special.
No, I know.
But it's also not so alien. This was always going to happen. You were always going to grow.
Yeah, but I didn't think into this.
If there's anything that I can do that would make the crossing. And if there was anybody in the room, they would see talking about a crossing kind of catch in Roscoe's throat again. Crossing. If there's anything I can do to make that easier for you, just say the word.
Can I ask you for something? And I think it sounds probably very childish.
I said anything and I meant it.
When I'm up there, will you hold my hand while it happens?
It would be the greatest thing I've done so far.
Thank you.
Well, get some rest. You're gonna have company in all your dreams moving forward.
Yeah. Enjoy the concert, she says as she continues just silently talking about the stars and the constellations above.
I glance up at the stars again and leave her to it and quietly head back to Jarvie.
Okay. Satara has the concert. It's a raucously good time. Morning dawns, and Jarvis informs you, Satara, that you need to get going because it's time for the night. We got to get to the next place.
Wait, what time of morning is it?
So it is.
Satara doesn't do
Right.
morning.
You haven't been doing anything before.
It's
Morning.
It's 9 a.m. He knows the risk of getting you up early, but he has to see the guests out, and he know you would want to see them out as well.
So Satara uses her hat of disguise to make her look perfectly put together and coiffed, just like she woke up fresh as a daisy, even though like noon is the earliest she ever usually gets up. And she's like, oh, it's been just so delightful getting to know you, and just have to go on to this next performance, you know, the call of the road and all that. But I wish you all well in general, and Roscoe especially request.
You folks gather your things, you gather your mounts. You see that Kiki has a puzzle box with her now that she is fidgeting with. And eventually the Jarvie drives off into the distance.
It's probably a good thing that Kiki does not have to like pilot her own mount, because she's absolutely going to be just distracted by the puzzle box, isn't she?
Yeah.
Certainly.
So
Yes.
the day presses on. Roscoe, you're brought to the Temple of Saloon, and they kind of go through things, and they ask you to go fetch, you know, the new diva from her room.
I go.
She's not there. All that is there on the back of the door is the symbol of Orcus.
I'm sorry. Said Orcus now?
Orcus. Possibly the biggest enemy of the Raven Queen.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
And on that, we shall end tonight.
Fuck.
Cliffhanger.
So, thank you all for coming to Ryan again, and we will deal with this situation as Roscoe processes the fact that his charge, that was supposed to be very quick and easy, has apparently gone missing. So, thank you all for coming, and we will see you all next time.